faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. It's time for Superman. On this episode of the Couch Brotato Podcast, we're donning our capes and flying back to 1978 to revisit Richard Donner's iconic superhero classic that made us all believe a man could fly. Join us as we talk truth, justice, and the Christopher Reeve way, breaking down unforgettable moments, legendary performances, and why this film still soars decades later, up, and away. Right now on the Couch Brotato Podcast.
From a doomed planet in a distant galaxy to a fantastic underground hideaway, from the Fortress of Solitude to the bustling city room of the Daily Planet. Look, up on the screen. It's Superman. Superman, the movie.
Hello and welcome back to the Couch Brotato Podcast, the movie podcast that's sweeping the nation. With me, as always, is my co-host, my partner in crime, Mr. Adam Lincourt. Adam, what's going on, man?
Oh, not too much. Doing super.
If I knew what button that was on my pad, I totally would have hit that because I have it on mine. I'm sure you've got it on your board too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Too little, too late. But hey, you know what though? We know we got it in the chamber for next time.
Right.
Today's episode, as Adam's pun clearly steers us in that direction, we are talking Superman. And I thought when we decided to do this that there's no better person to get than my resident Superman expert, the person that if I ever need to know anything about Superman, I call him this gentleman. He's making his triumphant return to the program. Welcome back, Mr. Stephen Merton. Stephen, how's it going, buddy?
Good, man. As you were saying that, I envisioned John Williams, the score, just kind of playing as, I don't know, just the way you were describing me as an expert.
Whenever I have a Superman question, I always make sure I hit that song. So as I'm texting you, it plays.
Yeah. No, good, man. I'm glad, really happy to be part of this episode. I know we recently saw the latest one and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely. And I think I'm noticing Superman is trending on social media because I think like I have after seeing that movie, I've just gotten really interested and kind of rereading about the history of the character and some of the older things that I remember as a kid. So yeah, it's kind of cool to see it trending.
Speaking of the brand new Superman, we are going to kind of give our thoughts spoiler free, or at least do our best. So if you have not seen Superman yet, first off, highly recommend checking it out. But what's your guys' thoughts on it? I mean, Adam, I'll start with you.
Yes.
Are we talking about the
2025 James Gunn?
Yeah.
David Cornsweat Superman.
So, without giving spoilers, I feel like this movie is closest to the original Christopher Reeve Superman. I feel like he has the same kind of Silver Age humor and banter with the rest of his fellow Daily Planet chums. And I think that Lex Luthor is very comic book accurate evil when it comes to, and his motivations are accurate as well. Especially like if you compare this Lex Luthor to Gene Hackman, it's very, very similar motivations. So yeah, no, I feel like it was a great movie overall. I really liked all of the characterizations. This was kind of a return to form for Superman in some sense, because I feel like while the Snyderverse was dark and gritty, this one is light, buoyant, colorful, it's very much a comic book movie, and I feel like it's kind of like the comic book movies of old, like with the original Spider-Man movies and you know, Christopher Reeve Superman, Batman, those sorts of movies. So really enjoyed it.
Steven, what about you?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved how fun it was and how unserious it was, and I just thought it was really cool to see a Superman movie with that kind of action, like Adam was saying, like super colorful, and it was just visually I really enjoyed it, and I liked it, and I can't wait to take my kids to see it again.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think Corn Sweat, Brosnahan, and how perfectly cast as the leads. I think they nailed the casting on this. I thought, like you said, I think Corn Sweat's easily the best Superman since Christopher Reeve. I'm not saying that recency bias because I did watch some of Henry Cavill, The Man of Steel recently. Not a great movie, but I always liked his portrayal of Superman. I guess if I have a gripe about this new Superman is the fact that I don't think we got enough of him, because I know they're trying to do the franchise building, and this is the first in the new DC. Are they calling it the DCU now, or is it? Because I know the old one was the DCEU.
Yeah, I think it's just the DCU because the stamp at the beginning is DC Universe.
Yeah. I get they're trying to build universes, and you kind of need. I think that they needed to have like the comic relief that you get in James Gunn movies, but I don't think it comes off very effective if Superman's trying to be funny. Because I've never really seen that character as like being like comedically, having good comedic timing.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized they needed those characters to do the heavy lifting. But I think that they featured the Justice Gang a little too much. It's because the three leads are so well. I just wanted more of them.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
But this really felt like to me, it really felt like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, no, it's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And
not like a disparaging way. Like when I think of it that way, it's just completely agree.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Super Friends, which we all grew up watching as kids. Steven and I more so than Adam. I think you had to watch those on YouTube.
No, I watched them on Cartoon Network, sir.
Oh.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
okay.
I watched them during their original run. I think I probably saw them on, as reruns.
Or they're on the USA Cartoon Express. I don't remember seeing them originally either, but I remember watching them when I was like fairly young. So, but
I watched them when I was young. I'm not that young.
So at least now I'm saying it to be off the offset. This is a movie that we can both say that we did not get to see, like that I didn't get to say that I seen in theaters, and you had to wait. I had to wait as well.
Yeah.
But Superman, the new one, fantastic. If you haven't gotten to see it yet, rush out and go see it. That's going to be I guess we'll just kind of put our bow on that because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. Because I know I'm the type of person, if someone spoils a movie for me, I'm fucking super pissed off.
Yeah.
Which is the point of our show, but I think we do movies that are old enough that you've had enough time to see it.
Yeah. This one was 78, so you had plenty of time to.
46 years ago. We'll get into the categories here for the 1978 version of Superman. And in case any of you are living under a rock and don't know who Superman is or what this 1978 version is about, I will tell you what the fuck the 1978 Superman is all about right now. Just before the destruction of the planet Krypton, scientist Jor-El sends his infant son Kal-El on a spaceship to Earth. Raised by kindly farmers Jonathan and Martha Kent, young Clark discovers the source of his superhuman powers and moves to Metropolis to fight evil. As Superman, he battles the villainous Lex Luthor, while as novice reporter Clark Kent, he attempts to woo coworker Lois Lane. And I'm going to thank the fine folks at Google AI for giving me that nicely wrapped up plot synopsis.
Thanks, Google.
Yep. Thank you, Google. Thank you very much. Tail of the tape, Superman was rated PG, released on December the 15th, 1978. Stars Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder, and Ned Beatty. Directed by Richard Donner. Rotten Tomatoes score, I don't have it. I must have deleted it, but I know it's pretty high. Just take my word for it. It's a high score. Box office $55 million, gross $300 million worldwide, and if you adjusted that for inflation, that would be $1.3 billion today.
It's a lot.
Nominated for 3 Oscars and was awarded a Special Achievement Oscar for visual effects at the 51st Annual Academy Awards. And you can currently watch this on HBO Max.
Yep.
What I found fascinating about this when I was watching the awesome opening credit sequence, for being the lead of a comic book movie, Christopher Reeve's name shows up third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
was it Gene Hackman?
Marlon Brando was on there first, and then it was Gene Hackman, then Christopher Reeve. As a matter of fact, I think they went Brando, Hackman, the title, and then Christopher Reeve, and they start going down the list of who's all in the movie.
Yeah.
Which I can kind of see.
I was going to say, yeah, Brando and Hackman seem like they were more well-known at the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those are two of the biggest stars in Hollywood at that time. But I figured, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised because Marlon Brando is, from what I've read, very well, probably one of the greatest actors of all time. He's a bit of a nut job.
Yeah.
And I could see that being like part of his script. He had to be, in front of the title.
Yeah.
Because I think nowadays that would be like Gene Hackman, Christopher Reeve, Superman, and then like at the very end of like the actors that are in that, and Marlon Brando as Jor-El.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I would expect to see too.
And yeah, I just thought that was weird. And then Margot Kidder's even further down the list. I think she's like 8th or 9th when they read off the actors that are in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ned Beatty. Ned Beatty was kind of a big actor at the time too. I mean, he was in Deliverance, but I'm not talking Deliverance today. Did you know these are some fun and interesting facts about the behind-the-scenes production of Superman? This is the first film of the Superman franchise. There were 3 sequels that starred Christopher Reeve, 2 reboots, 2006's Superman Returns and 2013's Man of Steel, as well as the character being a part of the DCEU universe, which that was the 2016 Batman versus Superman. Arguably one of the most disappointing movie experiences I've ever had in a theater. So pumped up for that, and it just didn't live up to. And there were 2 versions of the Justice League. One directed by Joss Whedon, and then Zack Snyder was able to get his cut released after a massive fan campaign on the old Twitter. Did you see either one of the Justice League, Steven?
Yep. Yeah, I saw all of them, and then the Snyder cut. I kind of felt the same way, Russ. I kind of left like, hey, it's better than nothing. I mean, there were parts of it I enjoyed. I thought it was cool to see these characters on the screen together, but yeah, I didn't love it.
Right. The Snyder cut is a much bigger improvement over the Joss Whedon one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
yeah,
long.
agreed.
Much of the footage for what would become Superman 2 was written and shot simultaneously with Superman, the original. Before shooting was complete for the sequel, however, Richard Donner was fired and replaced with Richard Lester, who reshot most of the footage directed by Richard Donner, which they did subsequently release Richard Donner's cut of the film. I think that was in 2014.
Well, was it? I thought it was previous to that.
It might have been.
Yeah, maybe 2014. I was thinking earlier 2000s.
It could have been. Did you ever see the Donner cut of Superman 2? Either one of you?
Yeah.
No.
You've never seen
Yep,
it?
I have not. Yeah.
I've only seen it once. I remember I rushed out and bought it when it came out, watched it, loved it, and never watched it again. And every time Superman 2's on, it's always the Richard Lester version, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But definitely worth checking out, though. The Donner cut's really good, really good.
Yeah, that shooting both movies simultaneously sounds insane. But, maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. Maybe it was something that was done.
Well, they've
pretty
done
commonly.
it since then. Like, I know the Lord of the Rings movies were shot that way, and then they did Infinity War and Endgame like that, too, if I'm not mistaken. I think they had a little bit of a gap in the Avengers series, but I know the Lord of the Rings was shot like that.
Yeah.
I thought this was super cool. Steven Spielberg was offered a chance to direct this. Producers were not too big on the salary he was asking for. Apparently, it was a little bit too much, considering he was a fairly unproven director at the time. They wanted to wait and see how Jaws did at the box office, and then they would make up their mind then. Of course, Jaws is a massive hit. Kind of redefined summer movies.
Yeah.
And then he decided to do Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and then 1941, so he couldn't do Superman.
What has he ever talked? I wonder if he's ever talked about that.
I don't know.
I
I think out of any director that could have done it, I think Spielberg would have killed this one too. I think it would have been a fantastic movie. Because he kind of has that sensibility that this character needs. This is early Spielberg too, so you're kind of getting the so essentially Spielberg in this time is I've always likened him as like the big kid that's making movies with millions of dollars at his disposal.
Yeah.
So it would have been cool to get his take on Superman. Pretty much the who's who of Hollywood was offered a chance to play Superman. At one point, they offered this to Robert Redford, Clint Eastwood, and James Caan. They all turned it down. And then they offered Paul Newman $4 million, and he could pick between being Superman, Lex, or Jor-El, and he turned all three of them down.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think Superman's one of those roles that I think is best played by somebody that audiences are not familiar with.
Yeah.
Because I think if you take Leo as an example, if Leonardo DiCaprio was cast as Superman tomorrow, I'm always going to have that in my mind. That's Leonardo DiCaprio's Superman.
Yeah.
If you're casting an unknown, it's okay, I can see him just as Superman.
No, it's a really good point. Yeah.
George Kennedy, Jack Nicholson, and Gene Wilder were all considered for the role of Lex Luthor, which is funny. Nicholson goes on to play the Joker in the 89 Batman, which that's been a talking point of Adam and I's whenever we talk 89 Batman versus the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I'm trying to imagine Nicholson as Lex Luthor.
I don't know. Hackman, I thought was fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's memorable, but I think Hackman's fine as Lex.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one guy I chuckled when I seen it and I chuckled when I read it is Gene Wilder. That just blows me away that he was considered for this.
Honestly, I could see it. I mean, given his performance in Willy Wonka, I could see him as Lex Luthor as well, just an evil Willy Wonka.
That's a fair point. I don't know. I picture him as the Waco Kid. I know he was in Young Frankenstein and he was in Blazing, Willy Wonka, but to me, the first thing I always think of Gene Wilder, well, besides Silver Streak, is Blazing Saddles as the drunk, cowboy friend of the main character. So I don't know.
See this hand? Yeah, steady as a rock. Yeah, I shoot with this.
The scene always cracks me up with that is when they don't believe it's the Waco kid, and he's just sitting there cross-armed on the horse, and he just mows everybody down, and then you go back to, cuts back to him, he's in the exact same position he was before.
Yeah.
I don't know why it makes me laugh, but it does. Lois Lane, among the names that were considered, Ann Archer, Leslie Ann Warren, Deborah Raffin, Susan Blakely, Stockard Channing, and April Byron. I'm sure those are names that most of the people that listen to the show have no idea who they even are.
Yeah. I'm among them.
Ann Archer was, did you ever see Fatal Attraction?
Yeah.
That's Michael Douglas's wife.
Okay.
And I'm sure Stockard Channing, and those are actresses that if you've seen what they look like, oh, I've seen them in something before.
Okay, yeah, I saw them.
To obtain the physique to convincingly play Superman, Christopher Reeve underwent a bodybuilding regime supervised by David Prowse, which, if that name sounds familiar to you guys and gals listening out there, David Prowse was the man who played Darth Vader in the Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, you can tell too. You compare a screen test, to when he filmed, he's massive.
Well, I guess apparently I was reading during that, he was a workout machine during this, and I guess there was times where they had to reshoot stuff, that they couldn't use because he had gotten bigger as the movie went on.
Oh, wow.
Christopher Reeve, fucking jacked.
I know. I remember it's when you see the initial test footage or some of the early test screenings, he was she had just really a lot thinner than he ended up being for the movie.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I think later on he challenged Bob Backlund for the WWE Championship at Madison Square Garden. Marlon Brando is paid $3.7 million plus a percentage of the gross for 12 days of shooting. The payment also covered the sequel, which was shot at the same time. Brando did not appear in the sequel because he sued producer Ilya Salkind, claiming Salkind had not paid him a percentage of the profits. He ultimately received about $14 million for 10 minutes of screen time.
That's crazy.
Not bad. The footage that they shot that they were going to use in Superman 2, they eventually used in the Superman Returns. Which, thoughts on that one real quick?
It's forgettable.
Yeah. Steven?
Yeah. I was happy when it came out because it was, first Superman movie and in a long time. But I do remember, I don't know, a few minutes into the movie, 20 minutes in, I'm like, I'm not gonna like this. And I was right.
I remember really liking it when it came out, and then I'd seen it again. I'm like, I don't know. I don't like it the second time. It's like, and then I think I bought it when it came out on DVD, and I never watched it. I think it sat on my bookshelf and collected dust.
I remember thinking the early scene, or early in the movie, the scene where he catches the airplane. I just remember thinking that's really cool. And it was, cool to see a modern Superman movie with that, with effects that looked that good. But yeah, I just remember feeling leaving, feeling he's not really doing any. There's a little action in it, but if you look at the overall runtime, there's just kind of that montage. I think there's a montage where he does most of the action, and then past that, you don't really see him engaging in any sort of fighting or anything like that. So I remember feeling really bummed out about that.
Yeah, and they decided they could do a complete 180 and have Superman go fucking Dirty Harry and Man of Steel. Fuck them humans. I don't give a fuck about them. Now, I've always said that since we're a movie podcast, that we're freely able to use like directors and actors. We can call them by their nicknames. So I'm going to call Richard Donner Dick Donner the remainder of the show. Dick Donner had first asked Jerry Goldsmith to do the score, and he agreed. However, a scheduling conflict came about, and John Williams had to be brought on to replace Jerry Goldsmith.
The best replacement ever. No offense to Jerry Goldsmith. I really love the Mummy movies soundtrack, but like, it's John Williams.
Yeah, that's like Kobe Bryant not being able to play in a game, and they're like, oh, we got somebody to come off the bench. We're just going to replace you with like 1995 Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I wish like it'd be interesting to go into another universe, the universe where that didn't happen, to see what the score sounded like. So I can be thankful that I come from the universe where we got John Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The GOAT. So great that we've named a category after him in this show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last one I got is this film surpassed Giant to become the highest grossing film in Warner Brothers history. And it kept that title until 1989, which you guessed it, surpassed by Batman.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's all the fun facts I got. Adam, you got anything you want to add?
Sure. Yeah, I have a couple.
I'm waiting for the goof. There's a goof where Superman has a brown streak in his red tights.
Honestly, I do have a couple of goofs that are really like apparent. But I'm going to start out with this actually has the longest end title sequence of its time at 7 minutes runtime.
Oh, dude! Like I was watching this, I'm like, fuck! I don't remember it being this long.
Yeah. And let's just go into the goofs. You already called me out on it. I'll go into them. So I don't know if you've noticed the very beginning of the movie. You have the great Marlon Brando being Jor-El, and all of his infinite wisdom of trying to save. I'm going to pronounce it like he pronounces it because he pronounces it weird. Krypton.
Yeah.
And he has this alien device on his wrist that looks an awful lot like a Rolex. So he kept his Rolex on for the filming of this, and you can definitely see it.
This is the point in Marlon Brando's career where he does not give a fuck about anything. Like this is like he's kind of like falling off the deep end, because I think he does Apocalypse Now after this, and that's a fucking like the stories of him on that set are fucking insane.
Yeah. Actually, we should definitely do Apocalypse Now. Just saying.
You know what? That's a movie that I fucking absolutely love. It's one of my favorite war movies of all time, but I have to be in a fucking mood to watch that, because that movie is like, that's a fucking trip.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, it is kind of, it's like you have to be in a mood to watch certain like sad movies and maybe certain action movies as well, but that's one of them for sure.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best films of the 1970s, but yeah, that's a movie like I have to be in a particular mood to watch. And it's super long too. It's like 3 hours.
Yeah, it is long.
So for me, consider I fall asleep through even like fucking Problem Child 2 anymore. Like I'd have to watch that over a week. Chapters features the greatest thing ever invented for people like me. But go ahead.
It was Marlon Brando's idea to have the same S on his chest as Superman would later in the film. Originally, Jor-El did not have the S symbol on his, garments.
Well, also, he didn't wear a Rolex either, so Brando was just like, no, fuck it.
Rolex was one of the best watchmakers on Krypton. Krypton.
Yeah.
Sorry, Krypton.
Yeah.
Another goof in the movie in Ma Kent's kitchen, you can see a box of Cheerios. I had the help from the internet for this one because I wasn't born in the 70s. But there's a box of Cheerios on the shelf that is a 70s style box that's supposed to be, taking place during the 1960s. So for shame, Warner Brothers, for shame.
Their defense, like I'm sure when they're making this, like, there's not going to be some fucking wise ass in Springfield, Ohio that's going to catch this shit.
But there was. And there was somebody before me too, because I got the help from the internet for that one. And that is all that I have. I didn't have a whole bunch for this.
All right. Steven, is there anything you wanted to add that in your super brain of Superman knowledge?
I don't know. I think it's an interesting something I remember seeing is they modified the shield a little bit. Not a whole lot, but they modified it a little bit, I guess, for trademark reasons. I think that's cool. My assumption would be, well, they would just use it exactly how it exists. Like they would just use that because that's how people know the character. But
the trademark is that
rounder and yeah.
Was the trademark is that because I know there's been like an ongoing legal battle for years between the creators of Superman and Warner Brothers over this. Was that part of it? Was it something to do with the creators of Superman?
I can't remember the reason why. I bet that sounds like it might be.
Because I know at one point, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was Superman Returns was like, I don't think it was in any real danger, but there was the possibility that it could get pulled because of some legal issue between who created Superman again, Steven?
Oh, the Joel. Gosh, I can't remember. It's two people. I think Joel.
It is.
I can't remember the last name.
I touted you as the preeminent Superman expert amongst my friend group, and you shit the bed.
It happens a lot.
So you need to mail me a check for $20.
And
Joe, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I do remember that there was some issue with the estates of those two families, like suing or the rights reverting back to them or something like that. To where
I remember hearing something like they had, like, I think for Warner Brothers, they had to release a Superman movie within a certain amount of time, or they could like sue them for lost revenue or something that. So I think that was a reason why I think around that time there was a push to get a Superman movie out.
Yeah, if they would have pulled that shit with David Zaslav, he just would have said, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to film the whole fucking thing and just never release it. Suck on that. We're going to write it off as a tax credit. All right. The Martin Scorsese This Is Cinema Award for the best scene of the movie. Steven, I'll let you begin. What was your favorite scene of this whole movie?
It's probably a lot of people's, I would imagine. The first scene where you see Superman, where he saves Lois from the helicopter. That's probably the one. I remember seeing that as a kid and just being in awe of this, seeing that, just seeing that kind of played out in real life. So it was, that's one that to me is my favorite scene of the movie.
Okay. Adam, what do you got?
I really like it's kind of a montage scene, but it's not. I like the montage at the end when the missiles hit and he has to save the people from the dam bursting, and then has to save the people from the rock slide, and of course he doesn't save Lois, but I think that's my favorite scene just because of all of the different feats that you get to see Superman do all at once, just one right after the other.
Yeah. I had where he saves Lois by essentially spinning around the earth backwards, so it like spins in reverse, and he like fucking time travels. I thought for the longest time, up until Back to the Future, I thought that's how time travel worked, is you had to spin Earth backwards to get it.
I disagree, sir.
Well, I know it doesn't fucking happen like that. I'm just saying that I thought that was such a cool thing. Like, Adam, I was a fucking small child. I thought that's how time travel worked. I thought that somebody could just spin Earth backwards and like everything would fucking go in reverse. It's like a VCR.
As a small child, I didn't like it. I was like, no, that's not a power Superman has. And nobody can do that. That's not how it works.
Hey, Adam, I hate to tell you this, but it's a make-believe character in a make-believe movie. You gotta suspend disbelief a little bit.
So would that mean if he sped the Earth up, time would move more quickly?
Under that assumption, yes, I believe that. Now, I normally, like, I leave all the nerdy shit to Adam because Adam's like the smartest dude I know, and I don't talk time travel on here because I am of the belief that time travel, the only way I believe in time travel is the Back to the Future way. You need a fucking sports car, like nuclear power, and you have to go 88 miles an hour and all that stuff. But I thought as a kid, I thought that was so cool that he travels backwards and then like it reverses everything.
But see, okay, so I actually thought about this for a minute, and I even like recently looked at it on the internet, and some people are like, no, he's moving so quickly that time dilates, and that's how he moves backwards in time. And I'm like, no, because he does a couple of like forward spins to spin the Earth back in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not what he's doing.
Yeah, I thought that was just the coolest thing as a kid. And today, that's still like an incredible sequence. That whole the whole scene where they're all on the West Coast at the end, like even the Golden Gate Bridge, all that. That if you want to incorporate both of ours into one gigantic sequence, I'm totally cool with that. Stevens is very cool as well.
I like Stevens as well. I'm actually more apt to give it to Stevens because I don't like the going around the Earth to turn back time.
All right, well here, this is the other one I had. It's when Superman, and I think this is the most iconic scene of the movie, is when Superman takes Lois and they're flying around.
Yeah, that's a good scene too.
I just for sake of argument, and I don't want Adam to shoot me a dirty, like tell me like I'm a fucking asshole later on, but I'm willing to give it to that one where they're flying. He takes her and flies her around because I just think it's like it's the most iconic scene in the movie. Whenever I see clips, that's usually the one that I see, not of that awesome sequence where he's fucking spinning Earth backwards to reverse time.
That's flying Lois around is one of Superman's many iconic things that he does in the books too. So,
well, that too, and it's like Lois. I always kind of viewed her as like the audience avatar, and it's just like, fuck that. I wish that I could be doing that, not the sexual foreplay that the two of them have beforehand, where she wants him to guess what kind of underwear she's wearing and stuff like that. I don't remember that.
Dude,
getting a little risque.
Man, I would totally ask him what kind of underwear I was wearing. I'd be like, what do I got on my underwear? Is it Hanes? Is it Fruit of the Loom? You don't know, do you? And then I would have him guess. I don't care. It's
no shit. It's none. It's none again. Every time, and it's always none.
I literally thought for a minute, like, Superman's going to drop trowel, like, check out that hammer. Jesus, Superman. I know why they call you that now. So are we going with like where Superman flies Lois? Where are we going with that one?
Cool.
Steven, what do you think?
No, I like the Lois one. I'll concede. That's also I agree. It's a iconic scene, and when I see pictures or even my mental picture of it, if somebody says that movie, that's probably one of the images that pops in my head. Mm-hmm. So,
I like this is a little fun fact too about that sequence. Apparently, Christopher Reeve had flight experience, and I guess it helped on the set of like him learning how to fly. Is like he kind of knew how to fly an airplane, so he kind of put that incorporated that
Cool.
into like the sequences where he was flying too.
Yeah, they probably yelled at him a little bit when he tried to put his arms to the side, and he's like, "Oh, what? I'm trying to create lift." And they're like, "No, that's not how Superman flies."
But he showed them later. He goes, "Check this out. I learned this in flight school too. I'm gonna fly backwards." The Andy Dufresne Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying Award for the best or most quotable line from the movie. Adam, did you have like? I'm gonna lead off first. I'm gonna say like there wasn't like a particular line that really stands out to me in this one.
Okay.
Like when it comes to Superman movies, I always think of Superman 2 with Zod when he calls Earth Planet Houston.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Neil before Zod, but Planet Houston, yeah.
Yeah. But there wasn't like not a particular line of dialogue that really stood out to me. I know they incorporated the Superman tagline, truth, justice, and the American way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess if I'm going to pick one, it would be that. But I mean, do you guys have anything?
That's the one that I was gonna pick just because that's the tagline that, Superman had at the time, and it's kind of iconic. So there isn't a whole lot. Maybe some goofy lines as Clark Kent that I liked, but that's probably gonna be the one.
Yeah, they saved all the quotable shit for the 89 Batman.
Yep.
That movie is a fucking quote machine. There's tons of shit we quote still to this day. Steven, did you have anything?
Honestly, I'd pick the same one you guys did. But if I had to say another one, I would say almost anything Terrence Stamp says.
Yeah, he's
any line of dialogue he has, I think it just sounds memorable to me.
all Terrence Stamp in the brief time he has is, and I like that they kind of foreshadowed what was coming in part 2 when they had the three Kryptonians or the Kryptian, however Brando would say it.
Kryptonians.
The Kryptons. The Kryptons.
Kryptons. There you go.
I like how they foreshadowed that too. Like, yeah, this is what was coming up.
Yeah.
But I'm okay giving that to that. The McLovin Award.
Man, see, we're never good at this, but hey.
I am McLovin.
All right. Well, one of these days I'll get to where I actually am halfway decent at editing, and I'll edit it out so it's flawless. But the McLovin Award for the best or scene-stealing performance. You guys got any nominees you want to throw in here? I mean, I guess you could probably say Brando because he's not in it for very long. And
Really don't.
the fact that like it's Marlon Brando, I mean, probably doesn't resonate too much as this movie gets older, but in 1978, that's a huge fucking deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly I don't like Brando in this movie.
Oh, I mean, Brando's very hit and miss with me. When he's good, he's great. But when some of the stuff that he does, it's like, and this one's kind of like, I always liked Russell Crowe as Jor-El myself.
Yeah, I like Russell Crowe.
But, for sake, Ned Beatty.
I was going to say Ned Beatty.
Truth be told, though, like, Ned Beatty's a very accomplished actor at this time, and he's been in some like big time stuff in the 70s. He was in Network, he was in Deliverance, as we said. But I will always think of Ned Beatty as like the bumbling sidekick Otis. Like that's every time I see Ned Beatty, he has his own theme song in this too.
Yeah, he does. Williams is good at that.
But I think it boils down to Ned Beatty and Marlon Brando. I would probably lean towards Brando just because the gravitas of who he is, and he's not in the movie for that long. But Steve, do you got anything?
No, I couldn't really think of a good one, and I think I agree with everything you said about Brando on that. I was having a hard time coming up with an answer for this one.
I think with a movie like this, though, it's kind of hard to pick like a performance, like a small role that really steals like a scene.
Yeah.
Because with Superman, it's so Superman, Lois, and Lex heavy. And especially this being a Superman story, it's very Superman heavy. And like all the bit players really don't have a lot. And I mean, like, who plays Tess Mocker? Isn't that Valerie Perrine? Yeah, she plays Miss Tess Mocker. Like, I don't think she's super memorable in this.
No.
So,
can I throw Terrence Stamp into the mix for Zod? He's not very.
That's the winner right there. That's the winner right there, Terrence Stamp, because he's the greatest Superman villain on film. Is General Zod, his Zod.
Yeah,
and he's in there for not even 5 minutes, and he's like that's a pinch hit grand slam home run to win the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Terrence Stamp. I'm perfectly fine giving it to Terrence Stamp. That's a good call.
Cool.
And then when you watch it now, like, yeah, like that motherfucker's going to do some shit in the next movie.
Yep.
So, yeah, Terrence Stamp is the winner for sure. The Dean Winters, who is that guy or gal award for the actor or actress that you've seen in a movie, but you don't quite know their name. And I've got the perfect one for this, but I want to hear you guys first.
I want to lead off with this because I nominated Terrence Stamp for the last one. I haven't seen him in a lot of things other than this. But watching it this last time, I did recognize his face, even though it was a lot younger. But he happens to be Chancellor Valorum from Star Wars The Phantom Menace. And he loses to Chancellor Palpatine. Well, would be Chancellor Palpatine. So this was my pick. So I don't have one because we just gave him the McLovin Award. So I will let Steven go.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, General Zod is a good one because same with you. I recognized Terrence Stamp more from more recent movies. And then it wasn't until recently I realized that was the same person. It was hard because I don't really have a lot of familiarity with outside of like the major characters, in the movie in terms of who the actor was. But for me, I guess it was Ned Beatty. And I know a lot of people know who he is, but that was it for me because I have seen him in a lot of stuff, but I'd never at that time, even now, I'm not super familiar with what he's done. So when I see him in movies, it's like I see him in a lot of movies and I don't know who he is. I eventually figure out it's Ned Beatty, but I'm just not super familiar with him.
Yeah.
Well, I've got you both beat.
Okay.
The sequence where they go to hijack the nuclear missile and Miss Tessmacher is in an accident and those soldiers come up to check on her. And in the major, it says that she needs chest massage, like that very sexist comment. She needs chest massages and all that jazz. That is, Adam, it might be a little before your time, but Steven, I know you did grow up. You're a little younger than me, but not by much. But in the 80s, Dallas was one of the biggest shows on TV. The major is played by fucking J.R. Ewing, Mr. One Larry Hagman, which until he showed up in a movie called Primary Colors, the John Travolta movie where he pretty much is playing Bill Clinton, but not called Bill Clinton. I didn't know that was his fucking name until I seen that movie. I, for years, thought I always called him J.R. Ewing.
Yeah.
And I mean, he was in a big show in the 60s called I Dream of Jeannie. But yeah, fucking J.R. Ewing is the major.
Okay. Yeah, I think that wins.
Because I mean, for me, I've seen Terrence Stamp in a lot of things. Like he's in Wall Street. The year that they did the 2 drag movies, there was Tu Wong Fu, and then there was Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Terrence Stamp is in that one.
Oh, he's also Stick in Elektra the fucking Prophet of Truth in Halo 3, which, I mean, that's not really like a you see him kind of thing, but he's also Jor-El in Smallville. So he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think Terrence Stamp's Terrence Stamp.
Yeah.
So, most 1978 moment of this movie, fucking everything.
Yeah.
Cars.
All of it.
Fact that there's like payphones, there's no cell phones in sight.
There's a newspaper.
Yeah, a newspaper. The fucking
I think that the revolving door change.
Oh yeah,
really it just seems really reminiscent of the period.
I think at the time they're very advanced, state of the art special effects, but in 2025, special effects in this are not very good. Especially when he's like young Clark's running.
Oh yeah, and you just see his legs going super slow, like they're lifting him up, and then they have like the background behind him.
Yeah, it's like the revolving like on a sound stage. It's just like it's like a long piece of paper where they drew like a landscape on it. It just keeps going back and forth.
Right.
So yeah, everything.
I don't know if this is like period or not, because it's, I hate saying that for the 70s too, because it's not like a period piece. But anyways, I don't know if this is like, time period accurate, but were there helicopter pads on top of newspaper buildings? Like I never got that.
Yeah,
maybe that seems like
it's like
I'm trying.
I'm sure newspapers did a lot better business back then, so they could afford a helicopter. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I've always likened Metropolis and Gotham City. I've always felt that Metropolis is like DC's version of New York City. And I've always felt that Gotham is more like Chicago.
Okay.
And I could see like the Daily Planet being like the preeminent newspaper in Metropolis, which is probably the biggest city in the DC universe. They've probably got a helicopter pad on top of their building.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's probably just like, movie magic comic book thing, right?
Yeah, I mean,
not necessarily,
even if it didn't, like, hey, what's a cool scene? Let's have the fucking helicopter, like, have an accident, and we got to show Superman in action. That would be a cool sequence. Let's just go for it.
Right.
I'm sure that's what Dick Donner was thinking. Like, that's going to be a cool scene. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Mr. Donner. I think this one is pretty much I'm guessing that the three of us got the same thing for this next category. The Indiana Jones It Belongs in a Museum Award for the prop that you would most want for your personal collection. Superman suit.
Superman suit.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like, that one, like, when I fill out my notes, I usually try to figure out, like, the easiest ones first, and I work my way to, like, it's usually, like, the did you know part is, like, the stuff I always work on last because it takes the most. As I'm watching Superman, I'm going down the list like Superman outfit. That was the first thing I filled out like 2 minutes into the movie.
Russ, I know that you and I actually were next to this suit in Louisville when we went to the Louisville Bat Factory.
Oh yeah, the Louisville Slugger Factory. They have this on display.
Yeah, they do. They had.
Or they did.
They did. It was the Topps card like kind of exhibit that they had going on, and Topps cards had superheroes on them at one point.
Yeah, I think they did a Superman line.
Yeah,
trading cards.
Yep, and then I think the one that we saw was from the second movie. The one of the ones from the first movie is in Planet Hollywood in Orlando, and I managed to see that last year actually. So
yeah, Be cool to check out.
I think one of them's in the Smithsonian too.
Yeah.
I'd imagine
There's a
so,
lot of
since it's a big pop culture item. I would imagine it has to be.
And if there's a bunch of them, that means that all three of us can have one. So it's fine if we all three pick it.
I smell a heist coming up. They didn't steal any money. They didn't steal like any of these priceless artifacts. They stole the fucking Superman outfits that they could probably sell for like 10 grand on.
And I'd be the one to get us caught because I wouldn't be able to help myself and I'd wear it out in public because I just wouldn't be able to not do that.
I would wear it under something, and if somebody needed help, I would fucking rip off what I was wearing and run to help them out. I mean, it could be like some lady struggling to get like her groceries in her car. Like, well, I guess I got to jump into action.
I don't know why. I just picture you like spinning around in a in a door, just like.
The only difference between that Superman and me being Superman is by the time I got to said lady trying to get her groceries in their car, I'd be out of breath. I'm like, hold on just a minute.
Plus, you'd have to deal with like the real life challenges of wearing a suit with a cape and then a regular person suit on top of that.
No, I would wear a suit. I would wear a suit. I would wear like fucking what I normally wear out in public, which is I've pretty much cultivated the lazy man outfit. It's usually either athletic shorts or sweatpants and either a wrestling or a band t-shirt with a hat.
Oh, I love the idea of you in shorts because then it's just you can clearly see the.
Yes,
I was like, oh, the young man's getting ready to go play a basketball game. That red must be his compression socks. No. But yeah, I think Superman outfit's pretty unanimous. If I couldn't take that, maybe the like the kryptonite.
Yeah, that's number 2 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the seven, or maybe like a copy of the Daily Planet, one of the Superman headlines. Yeah. That'd be kind of a cool one too.
I wouldn't mind the little miniature of like the Hoover Dam. That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be a cool one too.
Yeah,
actually, I want the
miniature of Krypton, or
I want the giant cellophane that gets thrown on at Superman 2. Just
yeah, that's in the second one though.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're talking about those the freaky Superman sheets he's got in the Fortress of Solitude. Superman sheets when he gets nasty.
So convenient. Just grabs it off his chest and yeah.
Sex pad. All right. The John Williams Award for the best use of music in the movie. I think this was pretty unanimous as well. The Superman score, the theme.
Yeah. The theme.
So listen to that the other day when I watched this. Like that's a fucking banger, and like we'll get to that here shortly. But that's got to be one of his better scores.
Yeah,
I agree.
And yeah, I will say I enjoyed the score from Man of Steel. Like "Flight" is a song I think Hans Zimmerman, and that's fantastic, amazing song.
Oh, Hans Zimmer's the fucking man. Adam and I are huge Hans Zimmer guys.
Yeah.
Like he's my second favorite composer. If I had to pick, Danny Elfman's really close though, so I don't know. Like
Adam and I like Hans Zimmer so much that we have discussed many times off air that because Hans Zimmer tours, he does like concerts and shit all over the world, that if he came anywhere close to where we were at, we'd go see him.
Yep. I would.
Yeah. Yeah, Hans Zimmer's the fucking man. And as a matter of fact, he scores the new Brad Pitt movie F1. Banging score on that one too.
Okay.
Has a lot of like...
It sounds a lot like his 80s band. It really does.
Yeah, it's really, really good too. I mean, he's no John Williams though. It's like if there's a pyramid of the greatest composers of all time, the triangle at the very top is John Williams. And nobody is like... That is permanently occupied right there. No one's taking that.
Yeah. And if John Williams did tour and had a concert, I would totally go see it. But the man is in his 90s, and he's definitely not going to do that.
No. Nope. He's definitely not Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones.
Right.
All right. Keep one performer, recast the rest with Muppets. It's a category that we have a little fun with here on the show. Steven, I'll let you begin. If you had to keep one performer, who would you do?
Keep Lex Luthor and then replace everyone else with Muppets.
Oh, dude, you kind of go the same way that I do. I tend to go with the villains just to see if
I just think that'd be fun to watch. So yeah,
I think that would be perfect. Yeah, that was mine as well, Lex Luthor.
Although I will say, just to create a little bit of a discussion, as serious of an actor as Marlon Brando is, I would love to see him interact with nothing but Muppets too. Although it would be a very long scene. But the fact that he's in the brief time that he's in there, it's he's fucking doing Brando shit, but he's trying to win a fucking Oscar for that. I'm going for it. And to see him talk to Muppets, and they're waving their fucking hands and their heads are bobbing back and forth. It'd just be fucking hilarious.
They're afraid because their planet's about to explode and they're just waving their arms around like Kermit the Frog, oh!
Yeah.
He's just looking down at their, so much taller. That'd be funny to.
Yeah, that scene where he's trying to tell the elders of Krypton that hey, the fucking planet's gonna blow up. We should probably get out of here. And they're like, no, we don't have to. And he's like, no, I think we should. This is a bad idea. Well, at least can I send my wife and kid? And they're like, yeah, no, you don't have to do it. Yeah, just Muppets. Telling him he can't do shit would be fucking hysterical.
Although, if Marlon Brando was a Muppet, his Muppet would still be wearing the Rolex.
Oh, dude, yeah, easily. Easily. And the fact that it would just pop up
yeah,
on the Muppet, the whatever, the material that is, that shit pops.
Yeah.
I watched one of the elders damn, Marlon. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm perfectly cool with Lex or Gene Hackman.
Mm-hmm.
Although he's not intense Gene Hackman. He's a little frisky Gene Hackman, which that kind of plays into the Muppet thing too.
Yeah.
He doesn't really get to be intense Gene Hackman until the very end of the movie. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I'm going with Brando just because that would just be fucking wild to see. And you know what, Brando would actually fucking I think he would try to make it work. He'd probably ask for more money.
Act with Muppets?
I think he would.
I was gonna say he would do it for a lot of money, but I'm saying I don't know if he would do it with.
Have you ever heard the story when? Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Have you ever heard the story of when he was on the set of the? I'm trying to. It's called The Score. It's Robert De Niro, Marlon Brando, and Edward Norton. It's a heist movie, kind of one of those early 2000s movies that kind of flew under the radar. But it's directed by Frank Oz, who those of you that are fans of the Muppets, Frank Oz was a puppeteer on the Muppets. He did Miss Piggy. Brando had no respect for Frank Oz whatsoever, and he called him on the set Miss Piggy. He never referred to him by name. He always called Frank Oz Miss Piggy.
Wow. He could have called him Yoda at least. A little bit of respect. I mean, come on.
No, he called him Miss Piggy.
Gee.
Goodness.
Well, Adam, who did you have? Because I said I'm going with Brando. Steven's going with Hackman.
Oh, Luther. Yeah, Hackman. But for sure, that was my pick as well. I would love to see that.
Okay, I can dig it.
I mean, it would be cool to see Superman act with a whole bunch of Muppets, but then his feats of saving people falling and the helicopter wouldn't be as big because it would be Muppet sized.
Mm.
So, I mean, yeah, definitely Luther.
All excellent choices. And we basically all three of us picked the two of the greatest actors of all time. interacting with Muppets. So that was a dream, which was finally realized when Michael Caine did the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Which he probably thought it was a paycheck movie, but little did he know that would just warm the hearts of everybody, including this man right here.
Yeah. Still a staple in my house.
Oh yeah. It's a banger.
Yeah.
We should do it for our Christmas movie this year.
Agreed. Let's do it. Why not?
I was going to try to trot out the Rolf Saxon Award for the best character name. For those of you that don't know, the actor that plays William Donahoe in the Mission Impossible franchise, his real name is Rolf Saxon, which sounds like a fucking the lead singer of a Viking metal band. I was blown away by how fucking cool that name sounds.
Yeah.
Thought we should maybe create an award for it, but I don't know. Is there any names worthy? I think it's got to be like a really outlandish name. Though. It can't be like fucking Clark Kent. That's about as middle America white man as it gets.
Yeah.
I think Lex Luthor is a kind of a badass name. Maybe I feel that way because there was a wrestler named Lex Luthor, right? Or maybe
Lex Luger.
Lex Luger. I'm thinking of something.
Yeah.
I still think Lex Luthor sounds kind of cool.
Total fucking package, Lex Luger. Yeah, I would maybe Eve Tessmacher, maybe. Because that Tessmacher sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
Tessmacher's
But I don't think there's any really names that stand out though. Like I'm just going through the IMDb
DC names in general, you get it a little bit in Marvel movies too, but like DC comic book names always have that alliteration. They always have the same sounding, first and last name. So you got Lois Lane, Lex Luthor.
They're like easy to say.
Yeah. So it's not, they don't lend themselves to have cool sounding names because they have the same first and last name sound.
Yeah, maybe we'll trot this one out from time to time. Like if it warrants it, we'll trot this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame award for career achievement. Christopher Reeve, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman. No.
No. I think we talked about this when we did the last movie we did.
Crimson Tide, yeah. I mean, just another great role in a laundry list of fucking fantastic Gene Hackman stuff. So yeah, we can't really say that one.
Which Crimson Tide you can listen to wherever you get your podcasts.
God damn, a fucking hour and 6 minutes into the show, we finally give ourselves a cheap plug.
Nice, Adam. Yeah. It's you seized that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was set them up, knock them down. We're seasoned pros at this, even though 8 people listen to our show. We do it for them. We get up in the morning, we make these shows for those 8 people.
For you guys.
Pre-MCU comic book movies.
Yes.
Well, I want you to think about it, though, because there's quite a few before the MCU hits.
There is. And the reason why I say this is because, Batman 89 and the Spider-Man films are top of my list. But if we're doing Hall of Fame, list of 5, this is making top 5. Now, maybe it doesn't make number 1, but it is making top 5.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, yeah, because it's like the OG.
Yeah.
Which, what blew my mind was there wasn't outside of Superman, they did 4 Superman movies before anybody attempted to make another comic book movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, a legitimate studio. I mean, I'm sure Corman tried Captain America, and then there was the Superman or the Spider-Man TV movies, stuff like that. But a legitimate Hollywood studio. No one did a superhero movie until Batman in '89.
Yeah.
But for me, it would be Superman, Batman '89. Well, I'd say Spider-Man 2 because I think Spider-Man 2 is better than Spider-Man 1, and I'm going with X-Men 2.
Okay.
Steven, what do you think,
Yeah,
man?
Like in terms of like, would this be on my top 5? Yeah, absolutely, yeah, 100%.
From from like pre the MCU, because I know that's changed comic book movies as a whole. So yeah, it would make yours for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty easy. What about John Williams movie scores?
So this is really hard for me because like John Williams has scored so many great films. You got E.T., Harry Potter, Jaws, Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Superman, Hook, Indiana Jones. Like he's got a list, and it's hard to put this in the top 5 because there's so many great ones. But it is one of the great ones. I want to make that clear.
So what would it be? I'd say Jaws,
Jaws,
Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
For sure.
Then this is where we're getting into the
Jurassic Park would make it before anything else, I think. You hear the first 2 notes and you know what that is. Superman probably makes it. I know younger listeners to the podcast would probably say Harry Potter, but I don't think it makes the list of top 5. It's just too new, and it kind of Williams had that period in the like late 90s, early 2000s where his scores kind of sounded the same. So a lot of Harry Potter scores sounded similar to The Phantom Menace to me.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but I think that Superman probably beats out Harry Potter for that spot there.
I would say Superman, and I'm going Home Alone.
Oh yeah, Home Alone's great. I don't think it makes my top 5, but Home Alone is really great. So is E.T. for that matter.
Yeah,
like,
E.T.'s just fucking banger after banger, man.
Schindler's List is great. Super sad, but it's a great score.
He's the fucking Beatles of music scores, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Steven, like, what about you? What do you think?
So is the question, out of all the John Williams scores?
Out of everything that the man has done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I say for me, yes. And it's only just because of how much I've enjoyed the character of Superman ever since I was a kid. So I think for that reason, it's probably why I would say my favorite John Williams score. Like, I agree. I think there's a lot of great music he's made, but I think just that one is just will always be my favorite. And a lot of it has to do with because of how much I've always enjoyed Superman.
Okay. Well, anything else go on your list?
Jaws. That's probably.
Oh, you know what? Scratch that. I can't believe neither one of us said it. We had Jaws, Star Wars. We never said Indiana Jones. You said, he said it. Or that's me then. I feel bad. Indiana Jones.
And then Indiana Jones will be on my list too.
I need to get my fucking podcast card taken away right now. I'm so ashamed of myself. But that's a great list. I mean, it's hard to pick one.
Yeah, I mean, he did music for the Oscars and the NBC nightly news. We didn't even pick those. Like, what kind of fans are we?
Yeah. I was gonna say Superman movies, but I mean, it's pretty much established that it's Superman 1, 2, then there's everything else. So no need to.
Now, I have to. So yes, it is the best because it is the first. I
think Superman 2 is better than 1. That's just me personally.
That's actually what I was going to say. After watching this movie again, because it was kind of a toss-up for me. After watching this movie again, I think I like 2 better. And reason being is like, it's really nitpicky, but this movie is extremely dark. Like at the beginning, you have a stark black background with a stark white planet. No other colorful scenery there. And then, a really raging red sun, and then it explodes. Like you can tell, like there wasn't a lot of budget for those sets, I don't think.
Well, they used it in all them fucking Kryptonian light up suits. It looks like a fucking disco in there.
Right. And then, like in Metropolis, like 2/3 of the movie are shot at night, and you got a stark black background with a couple of skyscrapers, and that's it. And then a whole bunch of like lights that wash out the rest of the scene, especially like on the helipad. And then finally, like the last third of the movie is colorful, and you're in the West Coast. There's a couple of scenes as Clark Kent in Metropolis where it's actually daytime, but there's not a lot of light in this movie, and I'm just like, I kind of like the second one better because at least we get the Fortress of Solitude and it, some color.
Yeah. I noticed that too when I was watching on Apple TV the other day. I just noticed how dark some of the night scenes were. Like, because I watched it on like my digital copy on Apple TV. I was like, fuck, he's right, man. It's like, it wasn't like to where like the characters were washed out. Just like the night sky is fucking like pitch black in this.
Mm-hmm. Right. There's no stars, nothing. It's just dark.
I had those sunglasses on that the scenes of Krypton where they're wearing the disco suits. My God, those things are fucking hideous.
Yeah.
Steven, would you wear one of those suits?
Oh, 100%.
I know you would. I would actually, if you said you wouldn't have, I'd be like, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude? I would do it too, even though they're ugly. All right, last category, Brotato's score out of 5. What would you rank Superman, Steven?
4.5.
4.5? Adam?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 4.5 too, just because of my nitpick. I'm not going to give it a perfect score, but it's damn near perfect.
Yeah, I went 4.5 out of 5 too. If we're ranking Superman 2 would be 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like that's actually, I remember more of Superman, like seeing Superman 2 more than I've seen Superman 1.
Yeah, I think I've seen Superman. I can't even count how many times, but I've probably only seen Superman 1 like a handful of times, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's fun, guys. Steven, thank you for joining us. I know you've got a flight to catch here soon, so we're not going to keep you too much longer.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
But it's been Superman this week, folks. If you would take a brief moment, please help our show out and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. All it takes is a couple of minutes. You can just write us something quick. Just leave us a nice little review, or you can even give us a rating on Spotify now. Just got to click that star button there. Please consider giving us a 5-star review if you will. You can contact us or follow us on our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, all that. Those links are in the show description below, as well as our email address. If you have any comments, concerns, show ideas, whatever, please send us an email and let us know what you got on your mind. So until next week, we will talk to you guys and gals later.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.